Terry, what do we do?
It's my first day. Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of Rugby League Outlaws, brought to you by the good people at Top Sport.
The first of 2025.
First of 2025. We're back. We haven't been cancelled yet.
Close.
Yet.
Getting close.
Yet.
I had numerous people DM me too, say, when's the next show, boys? And
Thanks,
I said,
Mum and Dad.
Yeah, I said, leave me alone.
Yeah.
Nan, go away. Yeah. And here we are. We sit to bring you the very best cutting edge rugby league entertainment.
And we hope Santa brought all the teams the presents that we said that they needed them to bring.
Especially the Dragons.
Especially the Dragons. Now, let's get into some talking points in here. Now, sad news to start off with. Tohu Harris has retired effective immediately. The wrist injury, he had surgery on it last year. He's having pain off the field. That's never a good sign.
Not at all. No. Yeah, what a shame. What a way for a legend of the game to go out.
Yeah, look, I was never a player who was fully wrapped or endeared by Tohu Harris. He just wasn't my cup of tea when it came to a player. But you could tell every team that he played for was just better for having Tohu Harris.
They loved him.
Yeah,
they workhorse. Yeah. Million tackles, million hit-ups. You're looking for that person to put their hand up with Tohu every single time. He's not a flashy player by any stretch.
And that's what I mean. Like you don't quite notice him when he's out there, and then you have a look at your Supercoach score and you're like, whoa, Harris scored how much?
Yeah.
So
he was a tackle machine.
Yeah, he really, really was. He was a fantastic player. Now, something I saw was the Melbourne Storm congratulated him on a great career.
Yep.
Player 177 for the Melbourne Storm, and they put a picture of him up holding the trophy.
Yep.
What were your thoughts about that?
Good on him.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't it be?
I saw a lot of criticism about it.
Here we go, yeah.
I saw a lot of criticism about it, and I didn't understand it.
Yeah.
I don't quite get what the criticism was. It was like people were liking it to when the West Tigers congratulated Luke Brooks for making finals game.
It's completely different.
Absolutely.
A bloke, a hero, a premiership winner. I don't know whether they took it off him or not.
No, he was there for a legitimate premiership. 2017.
Star of the Melbourne.
Yeah.
And it's a one-team town. It's pretty important. Retiring, not through, hey, I've had enough or I'm 40.
Yeah.
I'm injured and I can't do. No, rugby league fans are typically very negative and they've found a negative where there isn't one. Whereas Luke Brooks being congratulated for making a finals was just a Tiger saying, look at us.
Yeah.
Completely different.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't think Melbourne did it for attention. I think Melbourne did it to generally get out to their fans and to Tohu Harris. Yeah. Hey, we still love, respect and adore you.
Look, I wouldn't know because they blocked me.
Oh, but you can see him now.
Oh, it's true.
Thank you, Elon.
I could have seen it.
Yeah, because I blocked you, but you can still see my stuff. Yeah,
that's completely. What a shame. What a negative way to start. But congrats on a magnificent career. Tohu, big fan of the show, obviously.
Yeah.
To his family and friends.
Yeah,
that sucks in terms of the Warriors.
I hope he's not lost to the game. Like I hope he stays on with the Warriors.
I have a feeling there he'll be coaching. He just seems like the bloke that rocks up and everyone wants to do it for him. So I look forward to seeing what comes next.
Now the next one, I've had a little bit of fun with this one.
Oh, have you now?
It's the Cronulla fullback.
Yep.
Will he or won't he be the number one this year? Big talking point, Will Kennedy.
Yes.
Off contract.
Yep. We've
just re-signed Liam Eisen to not a long-term, not a short-term deal though. What are your thoughts on the Cronulla number one to start 2025?
I can't see a world, injury side, in which Will Kennedy isn't there in round one. Now, for all the negatives of last year, and I don't think he had a particularly good season, considering a couple of years ago he was a player of the year and we thought, here we go, attacking genius Will Kennedy. Thought he saved his best game for the Cowboys, which was a pretty important game. So we hadn't won a final under Fitzgibbon before that. Looked like it would go on. He had a wow of a game, both in attack and defence under the high ball, made that try-saving tackle on Drinkwater, I think, when they were coming hard for us. Probably going to score, and who knows what happens then. So I think he's earned that right. But I'll tell you what, if he's not playing particularly well by round 10, we'll say magic round 11, and Liam Eisen continues doing what he can do, there's going to be pressure, especially if that contract hasn't come yet.
Correct. Now, Will Kennedy last year had some moments for Cronulla that the fans so easily forget. He had the Golden Point winning play against Newcastle.
Yep.
He had that play against the Knights. He had the catch over the top of Tyrell Sloan to score a try and wrestle momentum back away from the Dragons down in Wollongong. Everyone just remembers the effort on Hammer, though.
Yeah, it was pretty bad.
That's what they remember.
At the gym the other day, I was watching some highlights from last year, and there were some moments where I'm like, God Kennedy was bad. And then there's some moments where you're like, God Kennedy was good. I think the fact that it was about 50-50 last year, where I think it was 70-30 to the positive in the past, whereas Liam Eisen, now people are only going to see highlights because most people don't have the time that I do to watch full games. But as someone who does watch a lot of Newtown, this kid's special. He's small and he's young. To rush him in now, we saw his debut. I thought he played pretty well. He had a try assist, had that moment with Kyle Felt that, ended Felt's career. That's how I'm going to tell the story anyways. Plenty of talent. We just need to be patient here. Kay Dykes, of course, is the third man in. I think he's fallen behind Eisen, if I'm being 100% honest. And I think Liam Eisen is the one that's going to be knocking on the door if Kennedy does suffer that drop in form. But right now, hand on heart, if you're telling me who enters 2026 as our fullback, it's Liam Eisen. Yeah,
2025 is the opportunity for Will Kennedy to find and recapture that form. I think it's going to take a whirlwind of a season for him to get a contract. And if it is a contract, I think he'll only get a 1-year extension.
Completely fair.
I'm of the opinion that if Will Kennedy gets injured or suspended, Eisen will come in and he won't leave the team.
Yeah, 100% agree. Yeah, well, it's up to Kennedy. If he plays well and doesn't give him a chance, that's a good spot for us to be in. But we do have a very capable fullback, and those fans in Newtown, Kay Dykes has won fullback of the year and 5'8" of the year. He'll slot straight back in.
Now, speaking of Big Brother and what they're going to do, Little Brother have announced their captains.
Captains with an S.
Yeah, captains this year. Clint Gutherson, I think that was the easiest choice in the world. And Damien Cook. Not bad.
Million games. 40. He's 40. He's got plenty of experience.
If you're one of the other Dragons players that have been there for a very long time, how do you feel about two guys who haven't even put on a jersey yet coming in and being your brand new skippers?
Unless my name is Jaden Sewer, I'm shutting up. Because none of them deserve it.
Yeah, they stink.
Jaden Sewer, if he'd been named, I would have completely gone, yep. Gutherson would have been vice captain.
Blake Laurie.
Well, there you go. The fact that you even said that is just... The calls from Dragons fans were, it's got to be Gutho. It had to be Gutho.
Had to be Clint
I think they've gone to him and said, we need a leader, we need on and off the field.
Yeah.
You need to be it. Holmes was another name I saw thrown up. Doesn't scream leader to me. Great player, doesn't scream leader. The other player was Jack DeBellin, who just cannot be named captain for obvious reasons.
Yeah.
I think the Dragons made the only choice. I don't know about the co-captains. I don't know if it doesn't work, but I think they're looking and saying Gutho's probably going to miss a few games. Cook can step up.
I think that's the reason for it as well. And let's be honest, they're the two guys that have played the most rep football.
Yep.
Had the most exposure in the NRL, and honestly, I don't think Clint Gutherson would have gone to Parramatta to break that contract as hard as he did unless he was told, hey, you're going to be the skipper over here as well.
I feel exactly the same.
And because Jason Riles had said, hey, we can move you on, but if you stay, you're not going to be the skipper. I think that was very important to Clint Gutherson.
Yeah, and it should be. He's a pretty prideful bloke, and he's a great player.
Yeah, he is.
Fan. I not so much now he's in Red V, but I think the Dragons have made a good decision, a rare good decision.
Now, staying with the Dragons for a minute, I think they missed a golden opportunity. And you don't even know what I'm going to talk about here.
I know it's going to be funny, though.
But Kyle Flanagan re-signed.
Yep, sorry.
Now, that's not...
Wait, he re-signed.
He did. Now, that's not the funny thing about it, right? I don't mind the fact that Kyle Flanagan re-signed with the Dragons. I thought he had an okay year. I think he cost his team the finals by biting, right? But he re-signed and they announced the signing late in December.
Yep.
The Dragons missed a golden opportunity to announce that on Christmas Day. A video of Kyle Flanagan waking up, going under the Christmas tree and unwrapping a contract. Opportunity missed.
His dad just standing there, coffee in one hand, the rule book in the other, burns the rule book as he sips his hot chocolate.
And the laptop while he's sending emails in the background.
That could have been... The Dragons...
What could have been? If I was the media manager of the Dragons, that would have happened.
That's what would have happened.
That would have happened.
Dragons, eh?
Now, a signing has happened. I don't think it's a big signing or a big name signing, but Leo Thompson has a new home. He did go down the freeway, but he took a detour.
Turn right back around.
He took a detour and signed a 4-year deal with the Canterbury Bankstown Bulldogs. Now, I like Leo Thompson. I don't like 4 years of Leo Thompson. This guy averaged 103 metres a game.
Pretty average. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if that screams, one, big money, which he got, and two, a long-term contract, which he got. I think the Dogs could have said to him, there's a contract with decent money,
Yep.
and we can extend and we can renegotiate, but 4 years at that level of cash and that level of commitment to a guy who...
He's pretty good.
He's okay.
I like Leo Thompson.
I like Leo Thompson.
But the way it was celebrated made me feel like it was Adam Fanua-Blake signing.
Yeah.
And I don't want to come across as the Shark fan making fun of the Bulldogs. It's very easy. We don't punch down here on this show. But I think Canberra said, write what you want.
Yep.
He wrote what he want. He gave the contract back, then took it to the Dogs, said match it and I'm yours. And that's what the Dogs did.
Yeah, and like, further to this, the Tigers got the better player on lesser money in Terrell May.
Big time.
Now, that's the guy who I would have signed for big money on a 4-year deal. If the Dogs didn't waive that contract at Terrell May, but waive that at Leo Thompson, they've fluffed their lines.
True, but again, maybe they know something we don't about Terrell May.
And also as well, Terrell May was for 2025. They might not have had the cash available to get him across the line.
To Thompson's credit, now you'll probably mention 10 things, but he comes across as a guy who is just a footballer.
Yeah.
And he's not going to cause you troubles off field. God help me by the time this drops if he does something stupid.
Yeah.
I like him as a player. I don't get the contract. Full disclosure.
No, I don't get
I'm
the
trying
contract.
not to be negative here, but I don't get the contract. I think the Dogs are in a chance where they're much like Cronulla. You look at the pack and you think, okay, it's good, but there's no pack leader. Okay, let's get this guy. Except when there's Fanua-Blake and there's Leo Thompson, they're not the same and they were celebrated the same. I don't mean to be negative.
I think Leo Thompson has got growth in his game, but I don't think he's got elite level top 5 prop in the game. But they've paid him like that.
Yeah, big time.
Yeah.
It was 900 or something, 800.
850 was
That's
I
a lot
mean,
of money.
850 is what the paper wrote.
True, it could.
Which,
could be
give or take 100 grand either way.
Yeah. Congrats on the signing. Now,
Yeah.
I do want to quickly say.
Hold on. I will say this, that if there was a spot available at Cronulla and Cronulla had landed him on a lesser deal, like a Terrell May type deal, I would have celebrated it.
500k, yeah.
But if we'd missed out on Fanua-Blake and got Leo Thompson, I'd be sitting here with a bitter taste.
Big time. Canberra fans, when they thought they had him, were like, oh, that's a cool signing. Then when he went to the Bulldogs, they were like, If that was a top player, there would have been massive blow-ups.
Yeah.
I think that says everything. Not to say Thompson won't be a huge success, but I'm just saying that there has been a Thompson who was better turn up to the Bulldogs and bombed.
The last thing that I read though on a Canberra forum, because I don't mind trolling every now and then when
They can write.
Yeah, is one of the people on that's got the certified badge of an ITK turned around and said that whilst Canberra were happy to sign Leo, Leo's stipulation was you had to sign my brother, and Canberra pulled back and said we're not sure on him at the moment.
Good on him. Don't be dictators.
So it sounds like the old mate has signed with the Knights for the year to follow his brother.
Hey, good.
Yep. Good. Indifferent on this couch as to how this next one will be celebrated, but Laurie Daly is the new New South Wales coach.
That's terrible news. I called it when they linked him. I knew it had happened. And when it happened, I was like, ha, very funny, Terry. You fooled everyone. And it was real. And I don't get it and I hate it. New South Wales have gone from an extremely good coach to Laurie Daly. I hope I eat these words, but you can save the sauce because I shan't be eating that dish.
And finally, Kieran Foran out injured at the moment. Don't know if he's going to be ready for round 1, but if he does come back, it's going to be via the bench. The Gold Coast Titans are going to run out with a halves combination of AJ Brimson and what's the other fella's name? Campbell.
Jaden Campbell.
Jaden Campbell.
Now, as the residents...
If they do that, I think I'm going to change one of my predictions here.
Yeah.
And they're going to drop because that halves combination is dross.
I disagree.
I would rather Chad Townsend and Sandon Smith than those two.
No, I disagree vehemently. Is that a word? Whatever that word is.
Neither of them can kick.
Doesn't matter. They're gonna score 1 million tries. Now, there's a good chance that they lose games 60-40 because neither of them can tackle. But
no one in the Titans team can tackle.
You've just re-signed AJ Brimson again on a big
Stupid
deal. After he tried to play centre and couldn't play centre.
You don't know where this guy can play, and now you're going to make him play your halfback.
He has to play in the halves.
Okay.
You have to start him, and Kieran Foran's 140 years old and injured again. He has to make way.
If you want to know how bad of a halfback AJ Brimson is, Tanner Boyd was playing there last year.
Yeah, but again,
No, you can't but anything.
They tried to make... Now, no one's going to defend that.
No.
Tanner Boyd's a very ordinary footballer.
So is AJ Brimson.
Incorrect.
No.
I think he'll play 5'8". I think Jaden Campbell will be the halfback.
Nah. Well, either way, right? Either way, you're covering shit in chocolate and trying to sell me a Snickers.
Well, I'm eating that
terrible.
chocolate because it's going to be fun-sized. Nah. Look, so might their win total be, but it's not about that.
No.
We're not Titans fans. I just want to enjoy my rugby league.
Terrible.
And that halves combination is better than 412-year-old Kieran Foran limping up, tearing up Cronulla every time he plays us.
The only enjoyment that I'm going to get from that is watching them get belted every week.
Well, so be it.
Dan,
Talk to me, Terry.
it's time to do some ladder predictions.
Always super popular with the fans. And always spot on, too.
I will say this. To give us credit, we've picked the last 4 premiers.
We have. That takes
some absolute skill.
It does.
Yeah.
Now, on the opposite end of the table, haven't fared so well, but I'm extremely confident this year.
Right. So we're going to start 17th. We're going to build our way up. We'll do the bottom 5 this week. The worst of the best next week, and then we'll do our top 8 as we go into the trials. Bottom 5, wooden spoon. Do you want to start with wooden spoon, or should we save the wooden spoon for last?
No,
Save the wooden spoon for last?
Let's get straight in because that's all everyone is tuning in to see.
Everyone,
Drum roll, please.
For a second year in a row, we're picking Little Brother.
The St. George Illawarra Dragons on the basis of that halves pairing is terrible.
The whole team's terrible.
Their fullback is terrible, although Gutho's pretty good. Gutho won't play many games.
Yeah.
They've lost their 2 best players from last year who... Ben Hunt, for all his defensive issues, contributed 40-something try involvement to their 50 tries.
Well, this is the thing. The guy who kicked to set up all their tries to the guy that he kicked to, they're gone.
They both got wrist sold, and the Dragons fans like, yay, this is good news. We've signed like a Cronulla bloke who couldn't make the team and then got wrist sold at the Roosters.
But he's not coming for a while. Is he? Oh no, that's
Flanagan.
Oh, I thought
and
he was
then
Atkinson, but
and then the other Cronulla bloke who was so bad at football he went and played NFL for a season.
Yeah.
In Valentine Holmes, Kalero Jr. Yeah, look, I'm not. They've got some players. I like Holmes, so I shouldn't make fun.
I do like Holmes.
I like Jacob Little, although he'll play less football this year because Damien Cook's been there. I love the King.
Yep.
But there's a lot to dislike.
There's just so many buts in this squad,
and in the fan
it's
base.
paper thin.
They've got no forwards.
Yeah, and they've got no depth.
No forwards whatsoever. I had a look at a Great Friends Dragons vodcast.
Hold on a second. I'll just say this. If they had got Aden Fanua-Blake, I would have had him about 15th. Such is how bad their squad is.
He makes a bit of a difference.
Yeah.
Our good mates the Mad Dragons vodcast, put their side up. And the backs, I was like, it's not a bad team. And then they put the forwards up, and I was like, when are they going to do first grade? It's dire. And I don't mean to make fun, but... That's what you've given us.
You could get better forwards on the hill at Shark Park than what the Dragons are going to dish out.
I am legitimately 100% when I say Jaden Sewer, take him out because he's a great player. The Newtown forward pack will be more fearsome than this.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I'm not making fun. That's a legit comment, and I'll get that tattooed on my back if I need to.
Mm-hmm. 16th. Now, controversy because last year I was fuming that you left these guys out of the top 8. And now, not only have you left them out of the top 8, you've dropped them all the way to second last.
Yes, well, you didn't argue.
I saved it for now.
Yeah, okay, gotcha. Lay it on me.
How?
So
How are the Newcastle Knights 16th?
Okay, hear me out. Last year, or 2 years ago, Newcastle were running second last before Ponga went on the greatest run of all time and got him into the finals. Last year, they were sitting 14th when Ponga came back from an injury and went on the run of his life and got him to the finals. This year, they'll be sitting 14th or 15th, and Ponga won't have that magic step in him, or he'll be injured, or he'll be at the Roosters. He can't do that 3 years in a row, and it is literally Ponga or bust for this team. That halves combination is the worst, other than the Dragons. I'm going to say that a lot in this segment in the NRL. Their forward pack, Leo Thompson aside, Tyson Frizzell's okay, but he's 40 now.
Yeah.
Bradman Best's a fantastic player. I'm a huge fan of Bradman Best. How many games in a row can he put together?
I mean, you're talking a lot of sense, but they've also got one of the best 5 players in the game in their team.
Yeah, they do.
And he bails them out.
As he did 2 years in a row. But you look at history, when's that happened 3 times in a row?
I'm just going to say this, though, as well. For everyone who fears and says that Cronulla have a soft draw, thank you. But you haven't seen 2 softer draws in the run into the finals than the Knights had the last 2 years.
Yeah, they ran right on bad teams.
Yeah,
Whatever.
like they put 102 points on the Bulldogs, which propelled their for and against.
You beat who we're not having to go.
You got to beat who's in front of
But
you, right?
It's
not our fault that there's 13 teams worse than us.
They shopped, supposedly, their captain, Jaden Brayley, and said, we don't want him. And no one wanted him.
Parramatta did.
Yeah, but not enough to sign him. They looked and said, we got Brandon Hands, that's okay. That to me says Brayley sucks because Hands sucks. And I rate Brayley a bit higher. I'm not going to have a go at him. I actually really like the kid. It's his brother I had the problem with. But, although Blake's better.
Yeah,
than Jaden,
Blake's been pretty good.
But Jaden was shopped and no one wanted him. And now he's their number 9 again? Like, what does that say? Now, you got Phoenix Crossland, who I think is a pretty darn good player. In multiple positions.
7,
well, where's he going to play?
He's going to have to play the 7.
Jack Cogger didn't work.
He's going to be the 6.
You got Thingo who goes everywhere. And
Gamble.
Tyson Gamble's a good player, but they wash their hands of him. He was dropped. He came in. He played off the forwards. They got no role for him.
13.
Like, we don't know who their best halves combination is. They had 27 rounds of football last year going to the finals. Adam O'Brien still didn't know who their best halves combination is, unless they got hidden and it's all a joke and they've got 2 comp players ready for combat we don't know about. That's going to happen again this year. Ponga can't bail him out again.
I think they were banking on getting Jonah Pezzett back. And the fact that Jonah Pezzett turned around and said, you know what, I'm going to knock back a big 4-year deal for a 2-year extension at Melbourne to
playing
play
for North.
Up. Yeah.
But they had that. It was, who's the English bloke? It's not Lewis Dodd.
Kai Pearce?
Yeah, he's quite... No, not him. He's the second. He's actually a really good player.
Will Price.
Will Price, who came in and debuted magnificently, and then we're missing again. They've got like 5 decent halves, but none of them are like, you got to pick me.
Yeah, I think the thing is they've got, as you've said there, they've got 5 decent halves, but none of them gel.
None of them are good. They're too alike. I'm picking Cogger in his position.
I'm picking Cogger at 6.
And build around him.
And I think you've got to go Crossland at 7.
Yeah, but you say to me, Terry, we're playing a finals game this week. You got, over here you got Nathan Cleary in one corner and you got Phoenix Crossland. Like, it's Ponga or bust. Now, Ponga can get into the finals.
Bro, Chad Townsend and Shane Perry have won premierships. Like, it's a run of form.
Yeah, I just cannot see it. Now, I'm happy to eat crow, as I usually do, but Newcastle.
I'm not having them 16th, but Dan is. Now, 15th.
This was you. This is him.
No, it wasn't.
It was all you.
Okay, it was, yeah. I'm happy to take this one here, right? They've lost their best half.
Yep.
Arguably the best forward in the game. And their captain has just retired. Their marquee signing is Tanner Boyd. Ladies and gentlemen, if that doesn't scream wooden spoon, it screams 15th.
Does. The Warriors came back in.
I think you could probably swap the Warriors and Knights. I didn't want to do it, but now that you say it out loud.
I like the Warriors in that. I like Tamari Martin. I think he's quite a good player. He's quite a good player. I love Metcalf.
Yeah, he can't stay fit.
No, he can't, which is a shame.
The guy's made of Pringles.
I love the guy. Wade Egan, and I love Chance Nickel-Clockstar. But Chance aside, I wouldn't have any of them at Cronulla.
Yeah. I do like Mitch Barnett.
Yeah.
I think he's a pretty handy signing, and I know he's a literal vile human piece of excrement. But Dylan Walker's a handy player as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
Has he left?
No, he was going to, and then he didn't.
But he stayed.
He'll be their starting lock, and I think he's a hugely underrated player for obvious reasons, as you say. There's enough there, like Wateni Zalesniak.
Oh, it's Jazz Bunga that left.
Yeah, they'll score heaps of tries, but their centres, not what they were. Their wingers are not what they were.
Yeah, I mean, and they still can't find the position for Tuivasa-Sheck.
Which is a real shame because he's a superstar. Oh, I'm putting him at fullback.
I'd just chuck him on the wing.
I'm just putting him at fullback and say, you do what you do.
I'd chuck him on the wing and just let him roam.
Fair enough. He came back last year and looked pretty good.
Because they've got that Tuipiki as well.
Yeah, they're all good. They're all good players, but I just don't think they have the halves to match with the big. Fanua Blake is a monster.
Yeah, and that's it. I think Fanua Blake and Mitch Barnett was arguably the best prop combination in the NRL. They just didn't have the pieces around it. And now you take the best prop out of that and their halfback out of it. Yeah,
well, it's up to Cable to punch through the hole in the wall. So, I mean, the hole in the defence.
Yeah.
So, I don't see too much happening at the poor old Warriors. We love the Wars here on this couch, but they don't worry me anymore.
Nope. Now, 14th, we've already bagged their halves combination
Incorrectly.
wretchedly because they are a disgusting team. I'm just going to ask you a question here.
Please.
How much longer do you keep a team on the Gold Coast if it can't succeed?
Forever for the TV deal until Perth say, we'll take them. I like having a team
Gold
up there.
Coast doesn't move.
It doesn't, but the away trips are the best. I hope it stays forever.
Sure, right? Sure. Now, I get it. They have that big stadium there, but soccer franchise didn't work. They've had multiple NBL franchises. The AFL team sucks. The NRL team's no better.
Nah.
Like, the closest they ever came to a premiership was 2010 when they got into a prelim. Right? You're talking Tiger territory of letdown.
Yeah. They haven't
With the
had
spontaneous finals appearance here and
They
there.
haven't had the lows of the Tigers, but yeah, it has been a disappointing run. They brought Des Hasler in, the Titans, of course, we're talking about, and thought that he'll rebuild them. Last year they got worse. Now, I would argue that
Tino, injury,
hurt
pre-season.
them. Their building blocks are in place now. I think they're going to be better this year, not by much. Obviously, we've got them where we do. I think they've got some players that you want to watch play football. But they're not players that'll win you many games. Like Jaden Campbell, I love watching play. AJ Brimson's one of my favourite players. They can do magic things. But then you're like, where's Brimson? Or you'll message and say, oh, you boys haven't. Then you score a length of field try and you'll have to eat a bit of crow. Then you'll go missing for 6 weeks.
Yeah, score a length of field try and then it's 38-6 and that's their first try they scored.
So I do want to point out the elephant in the room. They signed Regan Campbell-Gillard.
Yes.
Great pickup, great
pickup.
forward.
Not needed.
They've just put another $700K in their best position, their middle forwards, where they've got almost $2 million. More than $2 million. Almost $3 million in two players in Fafita and, of
He's
course,
not a
Big
middle
Tino.
though, he's an edge.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
they've got... I don't get it.
Yeah, I don't get it.
They did get rid of Tanner Boyd, which I think is a positive.
Yeah, that's an absolute positive, and they've replaced him with probably a worse halfback. So congratulations, Titans. You're terrible.
The Titans will be one of the more exciting teams this year. They're going to score 1 million tries out wide. Their wingers are superstars.
It'll be so exciting when they lose 60-38 every
Well, that's
week.
the thing. As a rugby league fan, I can't wait to watch the Titans. If I was a Titans fan, I'm not feeling very positive about the year ahead.
And finally, in 13th.
The dizzying heights of 13th.
And I actually think they could be a little bit higher, but we just didn't want to go too high on them at the moment.
Nope.
The West Tigers.
Yeah, the soon-to-be Magpies.
Possibly.
Definitely.
Now, I think some really positive things in this pre-season. Obviously, loads of Jerome Luai spam,
all over.
loads of Taruva spam, and nailing Terrell May.
Yep.
But the thing that has impressed me the most about Jerome Luai, and you know, people, you either like or loathe Jerome Luai, right? There's no middle fence. There's no. Jerome Luai's won me over.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm an unabashed Jerome Luai fan, and I have been for a while now because of his "I don't care about you" attitude.
Okay.
And now he turned around and said, "Don't worry about what I achieved at Penrith. It doesn't mean anything anymore. You're going to remember me for what I achieve at West." So that says that he's going all in or bust.
Good line.
Right? Great line. And then he talks about how important it was that Benji Marshall was in the room for his negotiations because he said if Benji wasn't there, I wouldn't be here.
Good.
And Taruva has said the same thing. He said, yeah, look, I had the best coach in the game in Ivan Cleary, but now I'm getting coached by the guy who did the flick pass to a winger. Like, this, they're just showing, I don't know if they believe it, but it's all the right signs and the right things and positivity. And a guy like Jerome Luai is going to lift everybody. And people are going to run through a wall for him.
That's a genuine
That is a
future
game.
shaping.
That is a
change.
game. Like that is a franchise altering signing.
If he signs for the Bulldogs, I think we're talking Bulldogs top 4.
If he signs to the Bulldogs, I think you're talking about Bulldogs premiership favourites.
So he's a great get. I like Taruva. I think he's good. He might start at fullback. There's a lot So they're going a bit off baller. No, I like the kid, but I would be, if Trevor starts fullback, so bad. Brendan Aiden's come back, and this is a bloke that was going to get rissoled, and he's come back with a new attitude.
Tried to swing at Benji, and now he's like, yeah, Benji's my best mate.
It is. You got Adam Dewey coming back. You got Lockie Galvin, who's arguably the most exciting young kid in the game.
Not named Kaylor.
Yeah, of course, goes without saying. You got a lot of these forwards. You got May, who just lifts them. You got Clemmer playing for a contract, because if he plays 15 games, he gets an automatic year, so he'll want that.
Oh, the Tigers have got the opportunity to do the funniest thing.
14 and the Maggies need a forward for a couple of weeks.
Yeah. 14 and then release him. Mid-contract.
I think this is the best Tigers team we've seen in a long time on paper. That's not hard.
It's really, because they've actually had some 2009 Sharks vibes in there on their team sheets. I am really, again, the only thing that worries me about them is you have a look at their best 17, and that best 17 is very competitive.
Yep. It's
18 to 30. It's paper thin.
They better hope for a real good injury or a run of without injuries. Yeah. Benji, for me, I wrote on Zero Tackle, you can check it out, is the most under pressure coach coming in. Not that he's going to get sacked or anything. They can't finish last again.
No, they can't. If they finish last, he's gone.
He's gone. Not without signings, not without... There's Tigers fans for a few years have bought in, but not really bought in. They're bought in this year. And Jerome Luai, to his credit, has spent hours out there signing well beyond...
I've got two coaches who are more under pressure. Adam O'Brien, because you've got him at 16th, and Des Hasler. They're more under pressure than...
Des has got a few more years, and Adam O'Brien should have been sacked 5 years ago. Yeah. So
no, I don't think Benji's there.
They were both in my list.
I think via the media, Benji will be the most under pressure, but via the people with common sense, it's not him.
Well, you're wrong. But I hope the Tigers have a better season. Not a great season, because I wish only negative upon everyone other than the Sharks. But I think the Tigers will be much better this year, because they simply have to be.
That'll be fun to watch. Hey everyone, thank you for tuning in to another episode of Rugby League Outlaws, brought to you by the good people of Top Sport. Don't forget to like and subscribe everywhere you can. The first episode for 2025 done and dusted.
We'll be back for the next few weeks.
It's done and dusted like the Dragons' chances.
All the way to the trials, which start early this year.
Yes, thank you.
And then we're off to Vegas.
Are you going to the first trial?
Yes, I'm going to the trial. I thought you were going to say Vegas. I was going to be like, no.
No.
But I'll be at the first trial. If you want to come down, and there'll be about 8 people there. So it shouldn't be hard to find. But let's go Rugby League.
Rugby League.